Welcome to the garage. We got a pretty big project kicking off for the Civic. And I say kicking off, but I kind of got a head start. So I'm going to show you every nut, bolt, hose, clamp, connector, whatever that you need to touch to get a K20 or K series out of your 8th Gen Civic Si or 8th Gen Civic. So I follow a 3-step process. First step would be access. Second step is going to be drain it and unplug it. Third step is break it and remove it. I'm going to explain what each of those means. First stage, right now, we're going to talk about access. Let's do it. So when you open the hood of an 8th Gen Si, it looks really intimidating. It looks like there's no way this motor can come out the top. And the way that everything is right now, you're right. There's no way you can get this out. So that's why the first step is access. So access, we're going to focus on removing what we need to get access to the bolts that we need to look at. So that means we're going to start from the top to the bottom and then right to left. So there's not a whole lot that you need to worry about on the bottom. The majority of what we need to do is on the top. So the first step is not jack up your car. Sorry, Marty and Moog, but we're going to leave the car on the ground. Most of what we're disconnecting is on the right side. Most of the hoses, the fuel lines, the vacuum lines, the bulkhead connectors, ECU connector, it's all on the right side. The left side, there's really not a whole lot that you've got to take care of. There's a grounding wire and an engine mount, serpentine belt. That's really kind of it. So most of your time is going to be spent on the right. We do need to get some things on the back of the engine. Now the K series, the K20 and then 8th Gen, it sits pretty far back. It's like in line with your windshield wiper. So there's stuff you gotta get out of your way. So this windshield cowl comes off. There's a weather tray under here, that'll come off as well. And then you have a lot of access to the back of the motor. And that's where you're gonna disconnect some heater core hoses and some vacuum lines. You can disconnect the header. I keep the header on. I disconnect it at the downpipe above the cat, and you can leave the header on and pull it out. It's actually not that difficult. Also part of access, we're gonna remove the front end of the car. We're gonna remove the bumper, we're gonna remove the crash bar under the bumper, and then we're gonna remove the cross member as well. That seems like a lot, but really it's really easy, really straightforward. So you're gonna have a very open front of the car. That's what we want. That's how we're gonna get access to our radiator, to our AC compressor, to the alternator, to the front motor mount. It's all right here. It's super easy to get access to. You just gotta remove it. We're gonna follow that process. We're gonna go top to bottom, right to left, and we're gonna get everything we need to out of the way. So let's go. Okay, your best friend in the world when removing plastic trim pieces are gonna be these. The plastic trim removing tools. This is going to be the one that's most useful. It's got the fork and the flat end. And if you haven't used these, let me show you. Again, super easy. I'll show you how to do it. It's super easy. Here we go. You're going to see these tabs. See like how it has a little indent right here? That's where our fork goes. So your fork goes in, prise it up. See how it pops? Comes up and then get under it. Bob's your uncle. Comes right out. Okay? Easy peasy. You can do it. More than likely, these things are gonna snap, and that's totally fine. They're replaceable. Okay, this bit can get a little confusing. So once you pop off all of the connectors, this actually rests inside the bumper. There's a little lip here. So once it's all disconnected, you wanna pull it up and then pull back like that. So now it's gonna release itself. See, it's out of the bumper. Now you wanna come forward. So we just pull it up, wiggle a little bit, and it comes right off the hood latch. So not that hard, but we're already seeing more room for activities. Okay, the windshield cowl, again, this is very easy. It's just, there's not connectors holding it together. It's just pressure fit. So you just pop it and then pull it forward. So the one thing you do need to be careful about with this, you're gonna have the hose for the windshield wiper sprayers. There's 2 connectors, so leave those as they are. You can come back here, there's going to be a Y junction. It's going to be on the passenger side, and just pull the hose from there. Now take that hose and just stash it here. You're going to reuse that later. Really easy to just disconnect it at the Y, and then you can take this entire thing right off. So that's the weather tray. We'll get that next. All right, before we go any further, I'm going to disconnect my battery. Just get that out of the way. There we go. Okay. So the battery is disconnected now. Working on cars can feel really intimidating at first. It was for me anyway, first starting out. I was so nervous about breaking stuff or not being able to get things back on when I took them off. I still worry about that, to be honest. It does help me anyway. It helps me to remember these were all built by people, right? Like somebody sat down and engineered a tie down bracket. So somebody figured out how to put it on. We can figure out how to take it off. Everything in a car is designed to be removed. So just keep that in mind when you run into something and it feels like, oh, this is impossible, there's no way. Just trust the process. There's always a way. Also, side note, I bought a brand new white shirt before starting this. We're gonna see how close to true black it gets by the time I'm done. So now, I've spent maybe 10 minutes tops getting this all out. You could probably do this in 2 minutes, but I'm doing this on a camera and it slows me down. But you can already see with the battery out, with the plastics off, you've got room to do things. So the very next thing we're gonna do, the weather tray. We'll get that out. You're gonna have a 10 millimeter here. So one here, one on the opposite side. You're gonna have one in the middle and then some on the top as well. And there's one back here. There we go. So there's one right in the center. I already took that one out. I cheated. So there's one right in the center. Pop that one. Then it's the same over here. One on the side. And one on the back. There we go. That's your 10 millimeters. There's 5 of them. Now get into your 12s. So there's 2 12s. One here on the side. And then here's the other 12. You can also take off your windshield wipers if you want to. It's not really necessary. I'm gonna replace these windshield wipers, so I'll probably just pop them off, but definitely that's a you thing, not a must thing. There's number 2. So same thing on the other side. With those removed, now the tray just slides right out. So there we go. So that is most of your top end access that you need. So look at all this room that we have now. So with all the plastics removed and the weather cowl removed, it makes it way less daunting. You can see everything, you have access to everything. This is what I'm talking about, getting your hand back here. Your header bolts are right back here as well. All your vacuum lines and your heater core hoses. Just with this amount of access, you can make a pretty big dent on the project. It just makes it feel a lot easier. And it's also, there's a lot to be said for project momentum. You want to feel like you're accomplishing things, and taking these plastics off, it's really easy, but it's gratifying because it makes a big difference. When you look at the engine bay after that 30 minutes, it looks really different. It looks like you really did stuff when all you did was pop a few plastic caps and move a couple 10 mils. Feels good, right? Project momentum. Look for those moments of project momentum. Okay, I'm gonna give you another trade secret. There are gonna be a lot of parts and pieces that you're removing that need to go back. Staying organized is really important. Best way I've found to do that is to get some sandwich bags and a Sharpie. Super easy system. Here's all the bolts I just removed. They go in the bag. I think you see where I'm going with this. Then Sharpie. This is weather tray. There we go. Collect all your bags and put them in one place. I keep a black tub with everything in it. Just a second. That's my organization tub. All the plastics, everything that's coming off the car goes in the tub. Bolts in the tub. Foolproof plan, guys. Sandwich bags and Sharpies. It makes the world go round. Next thing I'm going to work on is the front core support. I'm not going to take it all the way off. I'm just going to break it loose on this time. Okay, so these are going to be 10 millimeters. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the bottom, 6. Then we have some Allen key bolts that we need to remove as well for the radiator and the bumper. But we're just going to break everything loose here. So there you go. Just want to make sure everything is spinning just to make life easier when we get there. Ratcheting wrenches are one of mankind's best inventions. I think those are size 6 Allens. Oh, they're 5s. It's like one of the very few, if only, places you're gonna find an Allen is on the front here. This is a good example too. Let me show you. These are the 5mm Allens. So you see this is the bumper tab, but see how it's like cracked? Over here is what it should look like. This just means that whoever put this bumper back on just like cranked this down. You don't need to torque these things to infinity and beyond, all right? It's really light. You just make sure they're snug and that's it. These bumpers weigh next to nothing, so no need to like crank it. When you crack a bumper like that, you're just being careless. So just get them down snug. Don't try to arm wrestle it in. Snug is fine. That brings up a philosophical moment here too when we're working on cars. There are certain things with a car that are going to require brute force, but a lot of these things, it just needs a little finesse, okay? These things are designed to work with each other. So if there's resistance, back it back out. Figure out why there's resistance. Don't just try to push your way through it. Be gentle with these things. That's all I'm saying. We've got a lot of stuff out of the way already. So now we're gonna take our intake out. So I have an intake. There's a huge airbox that sits here in the stock cars. And it looks really big because it is very big, but you start from again at the top, you move the air filter out, you get the housing out. This is the bottom tube for it. It all comes out, but it takes a little bit. It's gonna be sitting right here. This is a little simpler. So let's take this out. We're gonna start with our mass airflow sensor. So with the mass airflow, this is a sensor, so you wanna treat it gently, because again, we're going to reuse this. So get it out and then get it into something safe, like a bag. And then these clips, you're going to encounter this a lot. It's going to be pushed down and then wiggle free. There we go. Okay, so that's your mass airflow. This looks like it's an aftermarket one. It's a Denso, but this looks pretty new. Okay, so this is going to go in a bag. So we're going to run into a lot of these kinds of hose connectors. So these are pinch connectors. So you want pliers, pinch them, and then just roll them out of the way. And then kind of twist to break the seal, and then wiggle back and forth and pull, and that'll come off. Okay, so let's see if this will wiggle free. There we go. Now we'll work on this bottom. Again, every car is gonna be different. A lot of SIs are gonna have an intake of some kind. The factory airbox just isn't gonna be there. Okay, so that is your mass airflow sensor connector. Again, staying organized. You're gonna have a lot of plugs just kind of dangling around. So I try to label it as much as I can. And if I don't know what the sensor is, which is, that happens quite a bit, I'll label location. So plug on bottom of radiator, something like that, So now I know what that is. That's math. Check out the access. So now we have like total visibility of the top of our transmission. So these are our shifter cables. This is all transmission. That's our motor mount. Here's the ECU. Like, a lot of room to get everything. We can even get to our slave cylinder right here. So at this stage of access, we can do quite a bit. The majority of what needs to happen on the top, we can do that from right here. Let's start working on the ECU side. This is your ECU. This is your fuse box. So what I like to do, just to get things, again, get better access, is to remove the positive battery cable. So just remove the top of your fuse box. These are the connectors for the positive battery terminal. You know what? Let's do, I think those are 8mm. So let's do that. I don't want to strip these out. Yeah, there we go. 8s. There we go. So now you can just lift this up and out. It's coming. There we go. Positive battery cable. Just flop it over. Again, easy, right? Easy access. So next thing we're gonna do, we can cover up our fuse box. Next thing, just remove the ECU cover. and we're gonna remove these 10 mils. What we wanna do is to be able to flop your ECU over. The connectors are on the back side. So we'll just pop these. And guys, I'm not against cheating. Ratcheting is fun, but whizzing is more fun. Whiz these things off. So now we can move our ECU. Honda has made removing the ECU really easy. You push this tang down and then pull back. Down, so down with the thumb in the middle, thumb on the side, pushing back. So that releases them, and then it levers, so it pops. And there you go. It's super, super simple. I love this design, this like tang and lever. Really easy to get that ECU out. Definitely don't want to ruin this, so let's find a safe place to put our ECU, and then let's keep going. Okay, we've been working for maybe 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and we've already made a ton of progress here. One thing I did not talk about is AC, okay? AC, the easiest way to do this, if you can, get the AC system evacuated. So go to a shop, have them pull all the Freon out, and that'll get you ready. What you don't want to do, I think we all know this, do not vent your AC system to the atmosphere. It's incredibly toxic. So if you can avoid it, well, not even if you can avoid it, just don't do it. Go to a shop, get it evacuated. If that's not an option, if you can't get it evacuated, you can leave the entire AC system in place. You're just gonna take the AC compressor off and you're gonna push it to the side to get it out of the way. But the easiest way, if you can, is to get it evacuated, then you can disconnect your AC lines and everything can come out really simple. But do not vent your AC to the atmosphere, for the love of all that's holy. Now we gotta move on to the front bumper, and for that, yep, you do need to get the car off the ground. So we're gonna lift the car and we're gonna get the bumper off. Getting the bumper off is pretty simple. It's just a bunch of plastic clips on the bottom. So we gotta get the car up and we gotta get under there and we gotta take the clips off. And it's the same clips that we took care of up here. So get your clip remover tool, use the fork to pry it up and then pop them out. Most of these are gonna break just like the top ones. That's okay, we can replace those. Get the car off the ground, we're gonna get these clips off and then we can pull that bumper right off. Here we go. So I removed all the clips on the bottom, so it's free down here. Most of these 8th gens have a bumper problem. Like, you're gonna see the vast majority of them that have like this edge that's always coming off because there's a bracket right here that is notoriously for breaking. It's just made out of plastic and it cracks all the time. So most of the time this is going to be really easy to pop off, but sometimes there's going to be the factory screw right here. This one is a survivor. It has the screw here. The other side does not. So it's just a Phillips head screw. Remove that bad boy. I was actually shocked that this was still in here. So now this is all free. So really all you got to do is pull and it pops right out. So we're going to do that. There's some clips around the headlight. And you're just gonna work your way around and just pop, just like this. There we go. So all the clips are disconnected. Now it's just a matter of pulling. Okay, so it's gonna pop. There we go. Bumper is off. I'm tired, guys. Might be time for a cherry Coke. Okay, with the bumper off, we're on the final stages of access. So we can take this foam cover off. It's not really necessary, but peace of mind if you're a foam boy. So we're gonna take this, the bumper bar, core support here. Well, I guess this is the bumper bar, isn't it? It's really simple. It's just 3 bolts on this side, 3 bolts on that side. So once that's off, you have all of this access to your AC condenser and the front of your radiator. So these are 12s. That's wild that they're using a 12 for a crash bar. I thought it'd be at least a 14, but all right, Honda. So now you've got a full open face on your car. Honestly, it makes everything so much easier, especially we're gonna get this radiator out of here and get this AC compressor out of the way. And then you have all the room in the world up here. Okay, for the core support, we already got these cracked. These are 10s. So really, you can just go with the Whizzer. So we already took these side ones. You will need to take these. These are the radiator support brackets. There you go. So we can just pop those brackets off. Just set those aside. We're gonna need those later. There are ones in the back, one here and one here. Okay, so that should actually free everything up. We're gonna disconnect this sensor. I think that's just the hood latch sensor, but I could be wrong. That, perfect. So what we're not going to do, we don't need to disconnect the hood latch mechanism. We're just gonna lift this up and move it over here, just like that. So now, this core support, you just do this. Slide it apart. Now we're in real business, right? This is all the access you need. Access for days right here. The only things really left is the battery tray. We're gonna need to pull that out just to get some things on the bottom. And then the ECU bracket. You don't have to take that completely out of the way, but you do need to get it loose enough where you can move it, because it's going to block our transmission mount. So you just want to loosen this up and kind of move it just slightly, just enough so you can reach this back bolt right here and this bolt as well. But that's really it. So let's get the battery tray. The battery tray can be a bit of a, it can be a little difficult. We'll just put it like that. It's these bolts, these are 12s, and then there's 2 bolts underneath. So there's one back here and one here. You don't need to remove the bottom bolts all the way. They're just pinch bolts. So you just loosen them enough, and then you can slide the tray up and out. So we'll get that tray. So these are pretty simple. Just pop them. There we go. The top ones, these are easy. The bottom ones are gonna make you think twice about your life decisions. But again, this is made by a person. They're made to come apart. You just gotta figure it out. Use a little patience. There we go. So there's 2. So those are the easy ones. Those are top. Bottom ones are a bit of a challenge. We'll get them. We'll get after them. I usually just go in with the socket itself, if I can. Got that on there. You know, I might be able to get that with my box-ended wrench, actually. But let's try this. So these bottom ones don't need to come out all the way. Just enough where you can lift. This is the one that is always a problem. So here's what we'll do. We got some wobblers, 2 of them. There we go. So that should be able to get us down and in. Because there's just a very small window right here. It's between the intake pipe that goes down into the rear, to the wheel well, and then against the radiator fan. So we'll squirm our way in. There we go. Nice. Okay. So it is free. The only thing really keeping it is a clip here. So there we go. There we go. There. Nice. So now we can lift that battery tray up out of the way. I lied. There's 2 more bolts. There's this bracket that is connected to the down pipe of your intake. So there's just 2 10 millimeters right here and right here. Pop those off, then the battery tray can come off. You also just want to remove your reservoir right here, and that's really easy. It just slides up and comes right out, just like that. Okay, I'll pop those 2, and then we can take that tray right out. Okay, with those last 2 bolts out from the bracket, now it's just a matter of shimmying and shaking. And there you go. You got your nice, corroded, disgusting battery tray. Okay, so now that's going to be the battery tray out of the way. Let's loosen up our ECU bracket, and that will that's going to be everything for access. Okay, we're making progress. Let's move on to the ECU bracket. So we can remove this 10 mil right on top. Really easy to get to. So that's the 10. That's out of the way. The rest of these are going to be 14. Okay, so we got one straight down right here. So the next 14 is in a bit of a tricky spot. You can just remove your whole fuse box if you want, but again, I don't think it's necessary. It's staying in the car. The other 14 is up here right under the fuse box. So box end wrench, that'll do the trick. Right here, there we go. Easy peasy. That bracket is loose, so we can kind of scoot this bracket out. Now you've got enough wiggle room here. That's really all you need, is a little wiggle room to pull this bracket just a little bit so you can get access to this 17 that's in the backside of your motor mount. All right, that's it, guys. That's everything with access, our first stage. So with all of this access, we can move to our second stage, which is disconnect and drain. So we're gonna work on getting everything disconnected from the motor. So that's all the fuel lines, the hoses, the electrical connectors, anything that's attaching the motor to the chassis. And honestly, there isn't that much. So let's go on to the next part. That's gonna be stage 2, disconnect, drain. Here we go.